I want to drink.
Buddy, I was trying to drink.
Yeah.
I was like, Aaron, are these for looks or what? He's like, well, I don't, he wasn't super committed to saying yes. He didn't say no at all.
Yeah, no, I think everybody's in that same position. Y'all, I don't think they could see. Yeah, behind Drew over there, there's like a little bar situation. I don't even remember that.
Oh, are we recording?
Yeah, we're going.
Oh, my bad. I wouldn't have burped in everybody's fucking ear. I'm sorry.
Would you not have, though?
Would he not have?
Yeah, I know.
They're the liberal rednecks. They like cornbread, but sex they care way too much, but don't give a fuck. They're the liberal rednecks that makes some people upset, but they got 3 big old dicks that you can suck.
But it's all right.
He's a very polite man.
I think everybody who comes in here and wants a drink thinks the same thing. They look at those, they all are like clearly untouched, right. And they all are like, well, I guess those aren't meant for actual drinking.
I thought the Kraken might have been opened because of that space, because visually that's not a good look. They should have made that plastic go down more.
Uh-huh.
And I was like, maybe they opened it. Hey, does it hurt to ask? Sometimes it does. No, Brennan had a great bit on that. Sometimes it does hurt to ask, but this wasn't one of those times.
What are y'all's biggest triggers? Because I have actually been doing great on no booze and feeling wonderful and haven't even had a craving. But I was making a funny post on Instagram, and you can put music behind them now. And to me, I thought the best music for this particular post was Common Man by John Conley. And I did it, and I heard the song and was just going, I'm just a common man. I drive a country music is the biggest trigger. With that, like, there's nothing more. Even if I have a stressful day or somebody pisses me off, it's not as hard for me to resist alcohol as it is when I just hear a country song that hits.
Yeah, that's definitely one for me too. The last time that kind of happened to me is when I talked about it on here after the fact. I did that Al Gore event, Al Gore, private event or whatever, which was outside of Nashville.
Is that your trigger, former vice president?
No, normally it's outside of Nashville, and he, put me up at a hotel in Nashville, but it was out on his family's like compound, outside of Nashville or whatever. And typically, show was over, show went well. Like generally, when I'm on the road, that would be it. I wouldn't have anything to drink from that point on. I'd be like, all right, I'll get a Gatorade, sit in my room, whatever, and then, fly back in the morning. But on the way back to Nashville rolling, it's just Nashville. I was kind of riding a little high because it had gone well, and I'd been nervous about it, whatever else. And I just I'm going to listen to some country music on this trip back in. And that sealed my fate right there, 100%. Yeah, I ended up staying up till like probably 2, drunk texting y'all, like vacillating between like, hell yeah, fuck that shit, and like crying my eyes out, you know what I mean, while still just throwing them back, listen, crying because it's Conway Twitty or the old violin, or getting Johnny Paycheck, or getting fired up over ragged old truck.
That's
or
mine.
Whatever.
That's going to be my song.
Yep.
That one makes me want to drink. I think for me, in order, it's cocaine. That's a big trigger.
Yeah, that'll do it.
Jokes. It's definitely, like, for me, it's live. Going out to do comedy.
Yep.
If the show's going well, or my friends are also on the show, or going out to see any live music. But if you're talking about just chilling, it's country music and some rap. But honestly, that just kind of makes me I'll generally get hype. But like country music, it's like, I want to drink.
Another one that I bet a lot of, it's just more rare, but like being on the lake or the water is also like being on a boat of any kind. I don't know if I've ever been on a boat not drunk ever since my like actual childhood, And Celina's a lake town actually, but I'd be on boats.
I don't know if I've ever.
The smell of cut grass.
Yeah, well, I got one that won't apply to you, Cho, because you're much more serious about it. But golf was always another one for me.
Yes.
I didn't want to go play golf if I couldn't have some beers out there or whatever with my buddies.
It's just a drinking game to me.
Right.
To be fair, it used to not. Yeah, I used to not want to drink because I actually got pretty decent. But as soon as I had the kid, my game fell off. And so the last several times I have played golf, I have been a drunken mess because I was like, well, what are you going to do? And I kind of got in that habit. So I'm back to drinking on the golf course. So, yeah, that's a trigger.
But, yeah, I don't like if I've got friends that are going out to like a sports bar or something to watch a game or something, they bring it up to me. Like if I do not want to drink that day or that night, I have to just not go because, like,
Of course.
Well, you say of course, but I feel like a lot of people. I don't know. I've known people.
Of course,
who
for
are like,
us,
right? Yeah, right. Yeah. So I think some people's response to that is like, well, just get a club soda and watch the game and enjoy the company of your friends or whatever. And it's like,
do you also tell people in the wheelchair to just walk?
Right,
it's not a disease.
Yeah, it's not that my friends don't have it, it's that I don't.
Which leads me, which leads me back to the biggest trigger of all: when someone near you is drunk.
Depends on who it is.
I about to say, depends on who it is and also how that's going.
I know what you're saying, but it definitely depends on person and context.
Yes,
but like
true,
somebody who hits
when
for
Amber
you,
gets slaughtered drunk, I can't handle her unless I have some.
Right. My reaction to those people who I've been around tons of times is not ever that like, goddamn, I better get also drunk or this is, I just see them acting a fool and I'm like, this super don't hit and I hate this and I want to go home. But
you can't go home if it's your wife.
No,
he's home.
I know. I'm talking about like friends of mine.
Here's my number one. That first change in the weather, specifically fall, and then I'll say spring second, and then summer, and I ain't got shit for winter. But like, do you know what I'm talking about? And it's rarer out here. But like, man, a fall day, the first one, if we fly into the south to do a gig and it's just starting to be fall, I want to go to a patio and watch football and drink beer, dark beer, so fucking bad. Guinness has made a non-alcoholic Guinness now. I'm so hyped for this exact point. I haven't tried it yet. The fall, I cannot do the fall. Sober October is insane to me. That's when you drink.
Literally just because it rhymes, I know. It's like the worst,
that's what I'm saying.
Worst month of the year to do it.
In my opinion, football, fall, and my favorite beers. I like the fall beers.
Oh, yeah.
I'm a fall beer man.
And the weather, like you said.
Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, what's fun, I feel like I can make a case for any type of weather but hitting for drinking.
It's the change.
You know what I mean? Like winter,
I agree, but
you
it's
said
the
not
change.
winter, but dude, like whiskey in the wintertime, or like you ever had like an Irish coffee? You ever walked into like a bar and it's cold outside and it's like, cocktail hour kind of, and you get an Irish coffee or something like that? That shit
But I'm with
rolls.
Drew in that it's not just the weather, it's when it changes.
It's that
like
first
when
day.
Like when I walk out and it's like, oh my God, summer's over. I could wear jeans and a hoodie right now. I'm like, what would go great with that? A goddamn beer.
A dark one. Oh, I wish it was fall right now.
I mean, it's kind of went back to sort of the LA equivalent of fall today. It's been LA winter out here.
It's the change.
You mean Tennessee fall.
I said weather, so it's my fault, but I should have said a change in the weather.
Yeah.
So like
You
the
get it
fact
for
that
3
it
days.
feels cold in LA right now is not what I'm talking about. It's that smell, the leaves.
Yep.
It's football time in fucking Tennessee, dog. I can hear it. John.
No, I'm with you. I dig it. I could dig it. Yeah, even just watching I could watch a football game alone, no problem. But even if we're not at a sports bar, if we're at a buddy's house or something, watching a football game with friends, especially if it's like, and it almost always is, it's like a Vols game or something, and we're all Tennessee fans, that type of thing. Like that's another for me.
Of course.
Like, gonna want to drink, but then I got friends with drinking problems, and that changes things.
We're all growing up.
Yeah, right.
Going to rehab.
Yep. Don't.
I'm also really horny the first day of summer.
Okay.
That first
not
hot
me. That's
day,
the worst time for me.
No, I hear you. Like it's not like I'm into that gross time. I just that first day of summer. It's always a thing for me.
I mean, what days out of the year could you not chalk that up to? For
May gets my dick hard.
All right.
Yeah, but like I'm saying, I noticed. You know what I mean? Like there's a summer thing with me. I don't know, man. I'm in heat.
Yeah, it's supposed to be spring, ain't it? Love is in the air. Spring. People supposed to be porking in the springtime.
Yeah, but titties is in the streets in summer.
But I think most babies are born because of wintertime porking. I think
that's correct.
Because it's couples who are like, cooped up together because you'll do stuff outside. So.
There's a theory that women are, for some reason, and maybe men too, are more fertile by being cooped up. Some sort of like we're all, it increases
hormones?
The chances. Yeah,
is it like a settling down thing? It's like if you're moving evolutionarily, your body's like, well, tribe's on the move.
Maybe.
Not a good time to be pregnant right now. But if you're like stationary, it's like, okay, we've settled in so we can push one out now.
I like that
Pulling
good
that
enough
out of
to
my
say
butt.
that's 100% true.
Yeah.
Anybody who disagrees, it's a science denier.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So DJ asked us earlier on the thread, our group chat with him, do you think, I'm ballparking it here, the number of baboons, do you think one pissed off silverback gorilla
Yes.
could take, it looked to me to be roughly 20, 25 baboons?
For how long? Like, what's, you know what I mean? Like
to death?
Completely? Like to death?
I guess so. Well, I don't know. It was spurred on by a video.
So.
Spurred on by a video I shared of a leopard getting dealt with by 20 to 25 baboons, and the leopard he weren't hitting. But I don't think they killed him though. I don't think.
Well, he probably ran away. He's faster than
well, right. So that's why I'm saying
Gorillas are stronger.
Yeah, but let's take running away out of the equation, I guess.
And then what about
you have to
consecutively or all at once?
Well,
no, like a fucking action movie where they
karate
all
movie. They all circle up around him and come in at one at a time.
My money's on baboons.
Although in that video, I mean, it was kind of a mixture of both. And the actual video is a leopard versus baboons, and the baboons are like it's a shitload of them, and they're not literally all on the leopard at once. They're kind of like, I don't know. It's sort of like they're sort of coming in and out. It's that, but it's also like there's only so many monkeys you can fit on a leopard, obviously. You know what I'm saying? Like, I mean, when 5 or 6 monkeys...
That's really funny to me.
Yeah, right. It is, but it's also true. When 5 or 6 monkeys get on a leopard...
You can fit a lot of more monkeys on a silverback.
That's true. But I'm saying for the leopard, like there ain't nowhere else for the other monkeys to go, so they're kind of just like hanging out around, like doing monkey shit.
Yeah, trying to like.
And then the leopard, one of them gets fucked off a little bit because the leopard scratches it or something, and I feel like another one then dives in there. But they got reinforcements. There's like 10, 15 in the general area ready to throw down if need should be.
So I only have one more question before I decide. Because I'm going to take. I said the baboons, but I'm going to take it back depending on the answer to this. Is this an all-natural situation? Like there's no control for anything other than we're putting them in is it a confined space?
Well, again, the video that spurred all this was in the middle of a street.
The reason I'm asking is I think that if it was like a fight to the death and they had to for whatever reason, them baboons is going to take, because he's going to get tired eventually. But I think out in a place that's open, after he kill about 5 of them, the other 15 are fucking off.
Yeah. They're right.
Yeah, probably. You think he'd do it like Hulk with Loki style? He'd just like,
beat a monkey with a monkey.
Yeah, just pick one up by the legs and just start beating other monkeys with that monkey.
And he would win. But if it was like we're in a confined space and I don't know, there's food over here and they're all starving and they had to fight him, they would eventually wear him down. But a lot of them would die.
Yeah, I told y'all this came. So first of all, this got brought. Well, no, I saw that video separately. They just 2 things happened to be monkey related, as often happens. But it started in the thread because I randomly found an old screenshot in my phone that I took off of Celina Facebook from where, and I know I talked about it on here at the time, but it's been 3+ years. The one of the pharmacists in my hometown who's got a shady history at best, and is also like a like a flamboyantly gay man and just a total character and perhaps not all that savory of one, who I've talked about before. Big Bob, that guy. Big Bob about 3 years ago was embroiled in a custody battle for his monkey, Carlos, right? And people were talking about it on Facebook. And I happened to find that screenshot this morning. And this old gal from Celina commented on it and was just giving Big Bob all this advice. She was like, listen, just file the damn form, file the papers, and get your monkey back, Bob. And it was like, people will back you in court if you do this, ... That bitch don't need that monkey. Everybody knows that bitch don't need that monkey. Go out there and get your monkey back, right? And this is all real.
I love the everybody will back you line.
Yeah, right. Everybody knows what time it is.
We'll show up.
Stand on business in court.
Like in a movie.
Yeah, right.
And just be like, listen,
and that movie
we're character witnesses.
Is called How Carlos Got His Monkey Back.
Carlos is the monkey. Yeah.
Oh, Big Bob. My bad.
Big Bob. How Big Bob got his monkey back.
Corey made the gay man Cuban, which is even extra funny.
Well, Big Bob had some boyfriends that was of that persuasion.
Of course he
did. Anyway...
So, can we hang out with Big Bob?
It's one of those things where it's like I think it hits harder to talk about him than to. Also, I don't know what he's up to, dude. He might be in the pen finally by now.
Coke and boats.
Is he like Wade? Because Wade hits to hang out with.
Yeah, no, I mean, again, he's like an actual, pharmacist in the area.
So he had the drugs.
So it's like, Right. It was, dude. This was all.
You're not the guy to
public
ask
record,
for
I
this,
reckon.
and this is not an insult, but it's not your personality to give a shit that you could spend 2 days, taking advantage of a guy with your fame to get his pharmacist drugs and hanging out on his boat with his monkey. That is not your style, and I respect that. But I feel like Corey, he would be a lot of fun to hang out with. We should send Corey in to test it.
Yeah,
Yep.
as the first time I ever told you about Big Bob was on Tiger by the Tail, our Tiger King spinoff, because I didn't know if it was how commonplace it was or not, but in my tiny redneck town, Big Bob was the dude, like, he had a menagerie. Mm-hmm. He didn't have tigers, but he had all kinds of, he had his monkey, which was like a son to him.
What does menagerie
Carlos.
mean?
A collection of animals.
A collection of things, yeah.
Is it things or animals?
It's I think it can be things, but it's most often animals, even when it's, the glass menagerie.
Well, that's why
In
I brought
science
it up.
fiction film, it's people.
Those are little glass animals that the person collects.
So the reason I asked is you were about to say, I wondered back then, is that a gay stereotype that there's a rich old one who owns a bunch of animals? And then I was like, wait, is that what the glass menagerie is about? Because I don't remember reading it. It's a Tennessee Williams poem, right? Mm-hmm. About a gay dude?
It's a play, ain't it? That got turned into a movie. Yeah, you said poem.
Oh, my bad.
It's about a.
In Guardians
it's about
of the
a
Galaxy,
shut-in. It's about
Benicio del Toro got a menagerie.
Yes, it's about a shut-in girl who collects glass menagerie pieces, and she one day receives a gentleman caller, and then the whole thing unfolds from there. That's how I remember it anyway. But anyway,
Aaron, where are you from?
San Diego.
Okay, that's kind of a big city, so this may be a hard question.
They got a hell of a menagerie down there.
Yeah.
That's what I've always heard.
Yeah, the zoo.
It's supposed to hit real hard.
Do you know, were there any gay dudes in your neighborhood who owned a bunch of wild animals?
No.
Right.
Okay.
For the record, if I ever, I get it because Joe Exotic or whatever, and that part of it was wild to me, putting that together. It's like, oh, they're both gay. But I always, in my head, that was way more of a lunatic, trash, redneck type thing than it was a gay thing to me.
Right.
Like in my small town, this dude had a menagerie. He just kept them in a big paddock by his house, which was basically downtown, right by the public park. And you can just drive by, kids ride by there on their bikes, get spit on by camels and stuff, all the goddamn time. He had camels, kangaroos, zebras.
Chicken or egg there, because living in a small town and being gay will drive you fucking insane. And he might end up becoming the menagerie man,
bro. That's what's always been so wild about him.
Joe Exotic was crushing it till that bitch Carol.
Thinking back on him, dude, he was doing his thing, man.
Yeah.
In Celina, and just did not give a fuck what anybody thought.
Wait, I just realized the confusing part of this for me.
Which I respect.
A custody battle with a woman.
Yes. I think she was had been a part-time caretaker of Carlos type deal. You know what I'm saying? They weren't in a relationship.
Even monkeys can't have two gay dads in Celina.
Right, yeah. Wouldn't stand. Yeah, exactly. Yeah. I think that's what happened, was that she took care of Carlos for him when he was traveling or whatever, that type of thing. She was his monkey nanny.
She stole his monkey.
And then she stole his monkey, and he had to try to get the monkey. And she made the argument that, because he did have a bunch of legal problems and stuff, and I think her argument was this ain't a fit home for this monkey. And he was like, fuck you, that's my monkey. I know at least at one point he definitely got his monkey back, because it was widely celebrated on Celina Facebook. But that was at least a couple of years. All this was happening during the pandemic, and the last I saw was probably 2021 or something, and he had gotten the monkey back at that point. I don't know if he still has him or not. Carlos may be dead.
He did. I believe they're living happily ever after.
I have no recollection of why I started talking about. I just said that I brought up Carlos in the thread, which led to all this monkey talk.
A lot of monkey talk was going on this morning.
Yeah. And,
so you never told us your answer. My answer is,
I think the baboons, there's just too many of them.
But you don't think they'll give up? You weren't swayed by that part of my argument? Because he's going to kill a few of them. You agree with that?
Right.
Okay.
The number's going to go down pretty quick.
But he's going to get tired pretty quick. Mm-hmm. To me, it's a question of, will the baboons fall back? Because it's damn, I've seen too many of my boys get fucked up.
That is the question. Or will they be filled with bloodlust? Yeah, I think if they keep going, I think that number of baboons, could take one gorilla, as bad as I hate to say it.
Dude, I think 5 could if they were relentless.
I know if Thompson's listening to me, he probably fervently disagrees, because as I told y'all, this, we used to... when we were like college age, we of course, would smoke weed and talk about animal fights all the time, hypothetical animal fights.
Yeah.
It was like a favorite pastime ours. We did it all the time. And then I was, college age in 2005 when Peter Jackson's King Kong came out, right? And Thompson went on a date with a girl to go see King Kong, and then he came home to our apartment that night, and he came in there and he was like, dude, I'm sorry, but like if they're all like that,
all like King Kong,
it's over. Yeah, he was like nothing. I won't ever put nothing over a gorilla ever again. I was like, nothing, not even like a saltwater crocodile or a lion or something like that. He's like, I'm just saying, if they're like that but regular size, hell no. Nobody wants that. He's like gorilla over everybody. G.O.E.
I think a hippopotamus could take one, but one-on-one on land, I think he's right. What one-on-one could take down a silverback, realistically?
An elephant, a bull elephant. I just saw an elephant fuck up a rhinoceros recently, and rhinoceroses, they ain't pushovers.
They ain't pushovers.
No.
But they're not as mean as
No, they're
rhinos.
not, but none of these have opposable thumbs.
I mean, hippos.
That's true. The opposable, but what's he gonna do? Pick up an axe? Because King Kong did that in his last movie, and it was metal as hell. But
he can climb up
he
that
can
elephant's
move
back.
east to west better. He can, you know what I mean? Like he's just like an elephant got to turn its whole ass around to do some shit. The silverback could jump on the fucking elephant's back and grab it by the tusk and start ripping some shit out.
I think elephant's a really good argument. I think if we had 100 matches, nobody would be winning 90 of them. I'm gonna go 60-40 elephant. Because the elephant gets one solid good hit on him.
But if he lands it, dude, that's it.
Yeah.
But it's hard for him to do that. You got to admit. Because he's got to do it. He's got to come up and down. He's got to stomp him. But if he's
monkeys
stomping
are
him, he's
athletic
under
as
him.
fuck.
That's what I'm saying, dude. And he gets one, rips his fucking elephant dick off.
And they got a big one too.
But have you ever seen them? They suck it up inside them, and then they have to pee. They drop it out, and it drags the ground.
Yeah, it's crazy. Animal dicks is wild.
That's how the elephant would beat the silverback. Just show him that.
And that's cold.
Right. Well, see, it's funny you say that. I don't think that would work, what you just said, Drew, because in the video I saw, the rhinoceros, the elephant's dick was fully out the whole time.
Hell yeah.
And this rhinoceros was like,
I don't give a fuck.
I ain't having it. And people in the comments were saying like, well, them damn things are real dumb and half blind. He probably couldn't see the elephant's dick. He didn't know how much danger he was in, whatever. But this rhino's just sitting there
That's
like.
so funny.
Right.
What a weird argument.
This rhino's sitting there just like, whatever, just like flexing on this elephant.
Yeah.
And this elephant is just like, no, not today. And he like charges it. He kind of, rhino stumbles, and then the elephant takes another shot and gores him right in the side. And that fucking rhino popped up like a scald with the tusk, popped up like a scalded cat and skedaddled the hell out of there. And everybody said that, almost no way he survived that, especially in the wild. He got stabbed through also they got that thick ass armor skin.
Didn't matter.
Elephant just went right through it with his tusk. Looked like butter.
Ooh.
Yeah. So again, if the elephant lands his shot, I think just about anything's fucked.
You've come around. You've pulled me around. It's 80-20 elephant.
Yeah.
Again, though, the elephant's gonna have to be very accurate on that first go. And maybe Drew said this, and I was too busy laughing and I didn't hear it. But we're talking about how big and long this elephant's dick is. Mm-hmm. What you think that monkey gonna grab first?
That's what I'm saying. But he'll suck it up.
Yeah.
The elephant will suck it up. Yeah. He'll try to grab his not tusk. Trunk.
That's a dumb move.
Here's the thing. Monkeys, silverback gorillas, do they have really sharp teeth? They don't, do they? They got mashers.
I think they do.
Do they have some fangs?
I mean, I bet
King Kong do.
You don't want a gorilla to bite your ass, that's for sure. But no.
But it's not a situation like a lion. An elephant and a lion, if the lion can get a hold, because you can get him down. You know what I'm saying? If you can get a hold of that back foot, rip the Achilles out, you can eventually get an elephant down, and then they're fucked.
Mm-hmm.
I don't know if the gorilla has that. I don't know if there's any way for the gorilla to get the elephant down.
I mean, the gorillas just like to be
they
just
got sharp teeth.
Just throwing punches.
They do have sharp teeth?
Yep.
I'm swinging back
They got
way a little.
They got vampire fangs.
But you can't box an elephant, though. You don't.
No, that's what I'm saying. He'd have to get a hold of a foot, but he's fast enough he could. If you bite his legs enough, you're dodge and bite, and you just take 1.5 legs out, especially if it's on the same end.
Yeah, like the AT-ATs in Star Wars.
Yes.
Yeah.
The elephant's fucked.
Right.
The other reason this won't make sense, though, ever in the wild, unless it's like some kind of preserve and there's only one elephant, elephants are like, they're a gang. It's gang when it comes to elephants.
Yep.
and they
bury
will.
their dead.
They will not leave one behind. So if you're a gorilla and you're trying to fight an elephant, you better be ready to fight all the elephants.
Right.
Yeah.
And you can't fuck with an elephant, dude.
No, because it's like they are kind of gentle giants, but also like the bull elephants in heat and stuff, they'll fuck your shit up.
Oh.
They get territorial and they don't fuck around.
And the babies like to play with humans, but if they think it's a fucked up thing, you better get out of there.
Right.
Well,
hippos are interesting because hippos are like, they go hard.
And they're kids in their territory.
Right.
They go super hard. The most deaths. Responsible for the most deaths.
Right.
Humans.
Yep. Right. Yes. But
yeah, they're the buffalo of the Serengeti.
Well, I did see a video from a zoo. It might have been Aaron's hometown zoo, San Diego. I just think every zoo is San Diego, I guess, when I see clips. But I saw a clip from a zoo of some lady, nice white lady, just brushing a hippo's teeth.
Oh,
you know? Big ass toothbrush and just brushing his teeth, and he's just.
Yeah.
You might jack him off.
They're not vicious. It's a territory thing.
Right.
Yeah.
Right. So.
And like because
they're hungry.
I lived in Africa for a while.
Hungry.
When we would go around places, I went on a bunch of safaris and all that. It was a whole thing of like, listen, guys, you see that over there, blah blah blah. Do not go past that. You will die. A hippo will kill you. If you don't go past that, they will not bother you because they aren't people who attack They aren't animals who attack humans. So it's just very much like a don't cross this line thing.
Right. Yeah.
If the elephant got the silverback gorilla, like got it in one go and knocked it to the ground and then stomped on its head.
Well, yeah.
If it could hit that 1-2, then it's over in 2 seconds.
I agree with that. I forgot about the tusk though.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Man, elephants, dude.
Yeah.
Right. You still think you could whip a kangaroo's ass?
Okay, that's not what I said.
There ain't no fucking way, bro.
It's a little bit what you said, right? Because
Mark asked if we got into a boxing match. I thought maybe he said fight, but what I said was I think I could get behind one and choke it out.
Okay.
And I said a normal one, not that one that's on steroids.
Right.
They all that way.
But
That
no,
ain't true.
I guess he's on. So you mean only gray kangaroos, right? There's gray and there's red. I
Not
believe.
all red look like that
The
guy.
Reds are pretty jacked.
All of them?
That dude was
they're
in
all
prison.
pretty big. Yeah, he had like prison tats and shit. This kangaroo.
I would not fuck with that kangaroo. The question was, can you beat up this kangaroo? It was like, do you think you could take a kangaroo in a fight? And I was like, yeah, maybe. But
He's
also,
a little bitch kangaroo. Sure.
and I read more about it, and I'm pretty sure by the end of that, I was like, nah.
I read more about it. Well, look at that. It is nice that you went and research. Yeah, because every now and then a new article will come out from like some study that's like a surprising percentage of American men believe they could defeat
Like beat a horse up or
a
something?
wild animal. Yeah, horse, gorilla,
I
bear,
have no
whatever.
thoughts about that. I've seen
Right.
a lot of kangaroos when I was over there, and most of them are smaller than deer. So it's like, I'll just choke it out. But also, you showed me one. Apparently, they can jump off their tails and then kick you into a different dimension.
Yeah, that's the jacked kangaroo.
Nobody could beat that guy up.
No.
But that's like, you just showing me the Ray Lewis of kangaroos.
Right.
Speaking
Can
of,
we give Drew a little credit here for a second? The unique Venn diagram that he's in, because you don't see most men who will say a sentence such as, I think I could beat a kangaroo's ass, are not the type of men who then go, I researched further and I don't think I can.
I know. That's very true.
that tail thing freaked me out.
Yeah,
because what I said to you guys was,
they like lean back. They like lean back on their tail and put their feet up and then poof, do a drop kick shit while landing on their tail. I reckon, and they got claws on their back feet too. It's not just like force. It's
and
sharp.
3 dicks.
And my whole
They got 3
I want to
dicks?
get into that. And there's nothing with 3 dicks that I could beat its ass. There's nothing in the world. If there's a tiny butterfly with 3 dicks, it's gonna whoop my ass.
Echidnas have 4 dicks, and
He's got parties.
You could take an echidna.
It'd get me in the echidna. But
They're this
do your bit.
They're this big.
I want to say something real quick before you do the bit.
Please do it.
I said part of my theory here is that they don't have a finishing move like a donkey or a horse with the kick. That's when you brought that up, and I immediately went, okay, I didn't know that. I didn't know they had a one-hitter quitter.
Right, special move. It is wild how many animals have special moves.
Any animal with a special move,
right.
I'm out. I thought, this thing's going to get some licks in and make me bleed, but I'll get on its back. It can't have enough strength other than the Ray Lewis one, and I'll just choke it out. But then I found out, no, one hit and it will kill me. It will punch through my heart. No, I'll lose.
Right. So, okay, bit real quick, and then we'll go back to animal special moves. So, yeah, I was just because years and years ago with a mustache kind of like this, I was Mario in a roast of Super Mario in Knoxville with a bunch of Knoxville comedians. You had already left, right? You weren't there.
I was not at the roast of Mario.
And so I was Super Mario in the roast of Mario, and when it was my turn to get up there, you got to go around the dais, make fun of everybody. This other comic was Sonic the Hedgehog. He was there as Sonic the Hedgehog, and I was like in this horrific fake not even Italian. I don't even know what it is. This horrible accent. I was just like,
you're allowed to do the accent.
Sonic the Hedgehog is here. And I was like, this guy is so his best friend is a Tails. Tails the fox, and also Knuckles the echidna. Knuckles the echidna. Did you know that echidnas, they have aphora penises? That's the true story. You can look it up. Echidnas have aphora penises. So that means this guy, he's two best friends, are the guy with the 4 dicks and the guy with the 2 assholes. This guy, he knows how to party, right? And anyway, I slaughtered that as a fat gamer kid my whole life. That was a lot of fun. I wish I had a tape of that. There might be a tape of that out there somewhere. Anyway,
there was definitely some clips because I remember Jake James as Donkey Kong.
He was Donkey Kong, yeah, and I did this whole thing about, which I've heard other people do since then. And also, to be fair, it makes more sense for Bowser than Donkey Kong, but Bowser wasn't there, and I did this whole thing because a lady comic from Knoxville was Princess Peach, and I was like, look, monkey takes you one time, okay. The monkey takes you a couple times, like, or maybe, but at a certain point, it kind of just seems like you want to fuck this monkey, like. Anyway, what was you talking about? Oh no, special moves. Animals with special moves. So like the ones I could think of off the top of my head, the kangaroo with the drop kick tail move.
I did not believe you. I was like, Trey, that's a cartoon thing.
Tasmanian devil.
Well, now that is definitely a cartoon thing. But
they don't do that?
No, they're little fat gopher looking.
But
things.
you know who does do that? And I was going to bring this up. Alligators and crocodiles, their special move
around and get you
is a death roll. They do a tornado.
Yeah,
thing.
the Lex Luger fucking.
Oh, the death roll is where they take you to the bottom, though, right? Of the water.
They spin
but
and they
still
break you.
The spin cycle they put you in is like the worst part of it.
They've
it's
also
not just
got that tail whip. That's also a bit of a special move on land. If they get you with the tail, it'll break your arm.
Right.
If they're big enough.
Horses with the kick.
And the donkeys.
The Hogan kick.
Donkey punch.
Yeah.
That little spitter. Little spitter lizard. Its things flare out.
You thinking of Jurassic Park?
There's a lizard that actually does that.
There's a lizard that does that.
I'm so glad I was
acid,
right. As
though?
I said that, I was like, is that true?
Is it acid?
I don't know if it's acid.
Or is it just
no, actually,
puke.
I don't think
puke.
this one can actually do anything. It just does that to make itself look bigger, I'm pretty sure.
Yeah, that definitely is a thing.
There's something that'll spit on you and it'll fuck you up. A kimono dragon, maybe?
Yes, but I don't know if they spit. Do they spit? I know that their saliva is like. I don't even think they have venom. I think Komodo dragons, their saliva is so insanely toxic.
How's that not venom?
From how nasty
that's venom.
Because they don't inject the thing into like your bloodstream. It's just like the biome of their mouth.
Is
like
venomous.
If they bite you, it's more like septic, I guess. It's not like, you know what I'm saying?
I do.
It's like
and
it's
I know,
so
and I know,
nasty.
And I know what you mean, and you're
right. It's like getting stabbed with a dirty needle, except it's a lizard's mouth, which is worse.
I know what you're saying. It just feels to me like you're saying like snakes have a pocket of venom that they choose to, which there's a great finishing move, by the way. Snakes have a pocket of venom that they choose to shoot into you, and you're saying all of its saliva just is toxic. I get the difference.
Here we go.
But it feels like that's venom. It's like they just have...
National Geographic. Research finds that Komodo dragons kill with venom.
Okay. Well, there you go.
A 1-2 punch of sharp teeth and a venomous bite.
I feel like, though, this is saying what you're saying, that they've actually found out it's not even the fucking saliva, that they do have a pocket. Can you keep reading? Is it the saliva, or do they have a venom pocket? I think it's saying that you're right, there's a difference, and they just found out that it's not actually the fucking saliva, that it's a venom thing.
Let's see.
Yeah, I don't
these goddamn ads.
I definitely thought that. Is it
like a recipe?
Is it
somebody telling you a story about their grandfather?
No, I've got to enter
my grandfather fought a Komodo dragon. All right, what other finishing moves? What do we got?
So I don't know if it's a finishing move. It's not a finishing move, but it's definitely a video game special skill. Owls can move at such an aerodynamic rate that they make zero sound. I don't mean a little sound. Zero sound. They are completely quiet. They can move through the air and through the night with zero sound.
That is one of the scariest things I've ever heard.
Ever. It's crazy. There's a video where this dude, like he's a bird man, you know, and he gets like have all
it's
these.
Actually,
like,
Big Boy that likes the owls. Birdman is in the Mercedes E classes, I think. Anyway,
but he has these like hawks and all these other birds, and he stands on the other side, and in this pathway are all these like insanely expensive microphones that pick up everything, and they measured all the bird sound, and then they go to do the fucking owl, and it didn't even register a hum. And this motherfucker is going and nothing. It splits, no friction between the air, and it can just, whatever its prey is, we'll never hear it coming.
I mean, that's pretty hardcore. So yeah, I did a quick cursory Google, and it looks like you were right the whole time from what I can see. It's venomous saliva is the thing that I.
Well, yeah,
said.
I didn't understand why. I understand the difference between having a pocket and then having saliva, but I didn't understand why we weren't calling it venom. But I could see the argument of like, well, that means you control it. It's like a
right. Because I thought, like for example, the poison dart frog, right? Isn't that what they're called? Poison dart frog. They have. Pull it? Yeah, I guess that is a venom. Yeah, I guess it is.
Buddy of mine,
that's a special move.
It's legal. Going out to the desert to find them toads that'll fuck you up.
Yeah,
you're gonna lick one.
You have a friend who's done that. Who's actually licked toads.
This summer.
I just couldn't lick a toad's butt. You know,
I don't think it's their butt. I think it's their head.
Yeah, I don't know.
Wasn't there a football player?
I don't think there's really much of a difference between licking a toad's head and licking its butt. Like, you're licking a toad, dude. Who cares?
There was a white, bald football player who had a spread in Sports Illustrated when we were kids. He had some of them as pets because the picture he was really into all the different frogs, and he had some of those. He had some of the venomous ones, too. Who the fuck was that?
White, bald guy, football player?
Yeah, the Sports Illustrated picture, he had like a bright orange frog on his bald head. It looked cool as shit.
I mean, I don't know. From our childhoods, I can't remember anybody being bald. I remember like Howie Long and Brian Bosworth and dudes like that, none of which were bald that I can recall. Brian Urlacher, he got bald later.
Nah, this dude was always bald.
He ain't into frogs.
I feel like he played for the Broncos, and it was definitely a time where it's not going to be easily Googleable.
Yeah.
Because, like, that spread was like 98. I mean, there's an archive of it, but it's harder to search back then.
Oh, I remember how I found the thing about the monkey custody battle was I saw a different thing that I don't think we've talked about on here that made me go search for it. Do y'all remember... Okay, Corey, you're a comic book person. If you went back and gotten like classic comic books,
like got some behind me,
like that are actually old, right?
Yeah.
Okay.
They're not the ones I have aren't really worth anything. They're like, well, that's I'll get like a second edition. It'll be the old Superman, but it'll be like number 2, and it's like you have to have number 1. But yeah,
I don't care about how much they're worth. Are they from like the 60s?
Okay, I was just trying to be friends.
I've never heard him more not want you to talk.
Are they from the 60s?
That's fine.
Or before?
Out.
60s or before?
Yeah.
Have you know the ads they have in the back?
Yeah, they've got some that were like, a lot of times it would be the little fish that they're dehydrated and you put them in the
sea monkeys.
Sea monkeys, yeah.
They also, and I saw this ad in one of my dad's old comic books that my grandpa had at his house. It was like from the 60s when my dad was a kid. You could buy a monkey for $18.95, and it came in the mail. Came in the mail.
Like in a box with holes in it?
Yes. And it came with a collar, a leash, and a monkey toy, whatever the hell that is.
That's all worth free. 18 right there.
That's what I'm saying, $18.95. Now in the 60s, I don't know what that translates to. What do you think? A couple $100 or something? It's still like pretty much
$18 from the 60s. That's probably $125.
$18.95. So $19 from the 60s.
I've been watching season 2 of Fargo, so I've been translating a lot of money lately. I'm going to go, that doesn't mean I'm going to be right. I'm going to say $187, Corey.
What did I say, 125?
Yeah.
Okay, inflation calculator.
I said 200 just without even really thinking. So I did the dumb thing. I went over, Somebody should have said $1.
Y'all keep talking. I'll figure this out.
Anyway.
I don't believe in the go over, you're out. It's closest one to the number.
I kind of am with you.
And what year are we saying, 1960?
Put like 65.
Yeah, because we said the 60s.
It's definitely the 60s, so just put it 65 somewhere in there. But
okay, and it's 1895.
I want to change my answer now. Fuck, because I've been doing 79.
It ain't 200. I was. That's over. That's got to.
What'd you say, Drew?
I forgot.
You said 125. I said 200. You said 187. I think is what on an undercover.
It's 186.31, dog.
That's wild,
motherfucker. You went over by 70 cents.
And that would make me out on The Price is Right, which is bullshit.
It is bullshit. You're right. I totally agree. Well, that's crazy. So,
that's crazy. That's nice.
I mean, I've been doing it like a lot. Like every time they mention money on there, too. I'm like, what is that?
Back when I watched Downton Abbey, like I could just do it on a whim, and I could like adjust for a couple years. It's crazy.
So I saw this as a kid in the 90s, and I knew even as a kid, I was like, well, there's no way this still works. You know what I mean? Like I can't mail a check or money order now. It's been 30 years ago, and that's a huge bummer because I would love to order a monkey through the mail, right? And I remember
send one to Corey. Don't say who it's from.
Remember being bummed out about that.
I would know.
Well, I saw recently someone else found an old comic book, one of those ads, and like posted it on Reddit and was like, hey, y'all know this was a thing. This is wild. And so, of course, in the comments, there's people like, you know, there's a dude who's like, yeah, my uncle did this. And, you know, he like sent the check off, whatever. It took weeks. And every day he was like going to his mom's like, my monkey come yet? My monkey come yet? And then one day this like wooden crate shows up with this emaciated, badly dehydrated monkey in it, right? Just like laid out like,
it was alive?
Like looking like a homunculus, you know, and like they scooped it up and took it to the vet. And this is in like, you know, Omaha, Nebraska or somewhere like that, right? In the 60s, they take it to this vet, and this dude's just like, yeah, I don't know what to do for a monkey.
We didn't have monkey class.
I've never seen a monkey.
It's almost jerky
in my life. Yeah, like, so sorry about your luck. That's that monkey don't look good. I can tell you that much, right? And so then it like, you know, died shortly thereafter. And other people were telling stories about they had whatever family member got a monkey in the mail and it didn't die. They nursed it back to health, and then it just tore all their shit up, you know, just fuck.
Why'd you keep me alive?
Shit their whole house up and just tore everything to pieces, all kinds of, because, you know, they're fucking monkeys, right? But like,
I identify with a monkey a lot.
Okay. That made me think about, and you're not a comic book guy, so maybe you don't know, but I thought Corey might. I can remember some other things from Corey brought up the sea monkeys. I remember those. The sea monkeys.
3D glasses.
X-ray glasses.
Yeah, that's what I meant. X-ray glasses.
In the ad, the way they pitched it was you could see right through a woman's clothes. You could see the girls in your 8th grade class. Who cares if they're wearing a shirt? It won't matter with our X-ray specs, you know?
Yep.
Like the sea monkeys, they always, like, I remember I did actually order some sea monkeys because they were still selling those in the 90s. Biggest fucking disappointment, because it's like they're just little brine shrimp. Mm-hmm. But in the ads, dude, they've got like underwater civilizations and stuff. Yeah. They're like founding micro Atlantis in your fucking tank in your room. They give them little faces.
There was a South Park episode about it that was great.
Right. And so it was all bullshit. But then I also remembered, we're all an age where when we were coming of age, no pun intended, you know, porn, we had magazines and stuff, right? It wasn't just these kids today got it so easy. We had like actual magazines.
They had ads.
Penis pumps.
Porn magazines had ads like this too. And the one that I always remember that was always the funniest to me
Trevor's reading the ads, nerd.
Was like, well, dude, they were hilarious, man. And the one that I recall, because it was mostly penis pumps and stuff like that, but the one that I always remember that I'll never forget was like, you know, like Kegels and stuff, right? You do like dick exercises to make you last longer, have better bladder control. That's all very legit. Well, it was an ad for this little like dumbbell,
dumbbell
that had plates on the end of it, right? That you could take. It was like this big, and it had a chain on it, and you tied the chain around your erect penis
to stretch it out,
and lifted weights with your dick. So, you know, you could get a good pump on your wiener by lifting these dick weights. And they were just like a miniature miniature barbell.
Wild.
Yeah, that like, you know.
Now they do a similar product, but you put it on it flaccid to stretch it.
Yeah.
And it will make it longer, but it will also make it less girthy.
Hurt.
And it'll make your erections weaker.
Yeah, that ain't it.
That ain't it.
No, you need to get your dick in there pumping irons. What you need to do.
But it's so funny that they were like that's out. Now what's in? Yeah. Same product, but just dangle it on the
It's also
end.
funny to me to imagine, like, musclehead bros or something who work out everything else, and that's why they're doing it. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah.
It's like, well, it's a muscle. What are you going to do? So it's
Those
like,
bottom two abs.
so like they, it's like today's back bison dick day or whatever. Like, it is, you know what I mean? He's like doing rows and
Don't
curls.
skip leg day or dick day.
Never skip dick day. Yeah, never skip dick day. Do rows and curls and stands in the corner just with a huge boner, just fucking.
Me and my girl work out together, except on Dick Day.
Yeah, he doesn't. He doesn't put it back.
Vagina.
He just leaves it laying in the corner, and people are like, "Well, fucking re-rack the dick weights, goddammit. But have some,
Clean them off.
have some sweat etiquette. Jesus Christ.
Just piss all over this dick weight.
Anyway, I don't know. I porn wise, I can't remember what the other ads were, but I bet they were. I mean, I've seen actually in old porn magazines they'd have ads for just every type of cocaine paraphernalia you could imagine.
Yeah.
Right? Like one of my buddies, we got some of his dad's old porn magazines from the 80s, and bro, I don't know how that, I mean, I guess it's just like going to a head shop or something and buying a box for tobacco use only. I don't know what the rationale was, but like
Snuff.
Coke spoons, Coke tins, everything, any type, and they were just like,
they selling. Have you seen the new product? I'm not going to say what their name is because they don't sponsor us, but there's a new company that makes snortable caffeine that looks just like cocaine.
I have seen an ad for that, and I thought it was a parody. Like, I thought it was a mediocre sketch the first time I saw it.
People gonna die.
Why? What? Like,
because we're a bad culture. Everyone's scared. We don't own houses. We have just enough money to buy shit like that.
yeah, but that's like it's not like snorting hits. I mean, do people like the snorting part? You like the?
I think
Some
people
get addicted to that.
I think it looks cool to some people too.
No, I mean,
Some people are definitely addicted to the snorting part.
Right.
Yeah.
But you snort your morning coffee? That's wild. I mean, hell, mammaws used to snort tobacco.
Backer.
Yeah, snuff. What we call snuff now is not what snuff used to be. It used to be a powder that you snorted.
You snorted.
Yeah.
I mean, you can still do it. They still
you
sell
can
it.
still
I've been
find
thinking
it,
about doing it.
I'd do it once. I don't think I'd do the caffeine, dude. I'd rather do acid than snort caffeine.
You'll die.
I will. Or I'm
gonna start snorting backer again.
Bring it back.
You've snorted backer before?
Well, I mean, I'm bringing it
America
back.
great again.
Oh, yeah. You're going to, bring back snorting backer. Why not? Well, it sounds like...
Plug your shit, Trey.
Sounds like it's about time for it. Both that and bringing back snorting backer. I mean, if people are snorting coffee, might as well snort backer again, Anyway, we're Charlottesville, Virginia this weekend, and then Florida after that. And then like D.C. and other Vancouver and Seattle and some other places coming up. Go to TreyCrowder.com and check it out. Come and see me. Appreciate it.
I got a big announcement coming out with the tour, but off the top of my head, I know I'm going to be in Denver in March. I'll put that link up. Nashville in June. I know there's like Asheville. Anyway, I'm working on it, so I'll be announcing my tour starting the back half of the year soon.
BonusCorey.com. That's my Substack. It's a great time. And also, listen to all the other podcasts in this universe. Weekly Skeews, Gravy Baby, Puttin On Airs. And thank you all for listening to the WellRED Show. We'd love to stick around longer, but we got to go. Tune in next week if you got nothing to do. Drew would get whooped by a kangaroo.
And he's been sitting on that one.
Yeah, he has. Skeew. Fart.
Bah.
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 This episode is brought to you by the new book, Round Here and Over Yonder, written by authors Trey Crowder and Corey Ryan Forrester. That's ya boy. The book is out now. I would like to thank everyone who did the pre-order, but for those of you who were like, you know what, I want to wait and actually go to a bookstore and pick this thing up, well, you can do that right now. Round Here and Over Yonder, a front porch travel guide written by two progressive hillbillies. Parenthetical, yes, that's a thing. We love long titles, but we love making you laugh even more. This book is chock full of jokes. We chock-filled it too. It's got a bunch of jokes in it. It's really, really, really fun. We tried to take the stereotypes of certain regions, talk about what they are, talk about what they got right, talk about what the actual reality is. Of course, we did it with our own little region here in the South. We went everywhere else in the United States, and for the first time in our lives, we went to the UK. It's Rednecks Abroad. The book is Round Here and Over Yonder. Not to brag on us, but I will. It is hilarious. Pick it up now wherever you get books. And by the way, we narrated the audio version if that's how you want to digest it. But there is no wrong way. Round Here and Over Yonder, wherever you get your books, do it in
indie bookstore. I like that more. Don't tell Amazon, though. Bye.